Hello, ChatGPT.
Hey there. Great to have you here. What's on your mind today?
Hello, everyone. My name is Khoula Mehmood.
Got it, Kola. Thanks for letting me know. If there's anything specific you'd like to chat about or ask, I'm all ears.
I am a student of Rehan College, Kurangi campus, teacher training bootcamp.
Thanks for sharing that, Kola. If there's anything related to your studies, training, or even just advice you need, feel free to ask.
Today, my topic is emotional intelligence.
That's a great topic. Emotional intelligence is so important, especially for teachers. Are you preparing a presentation, or do you need help coming up with discussion points or questions?
Okay, my first question is, what do you understand by emotional intelligence?
That's a solid opening question. You could explain that emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage both your own emotions and the emotions of others. You might also mention its key components like self awareness, self regulation, empathy, and social skills. That should give your audience a good foundation.
Okay, next question is, how would you disable your do on emotional stirrings?
That's a great follow up. You can guide them by saying that self awareness is the first step, by regularly reflecting on how you feel and why. Then you can practice techniques like deep breathing, pausing before reacting, or reframing your thoughts. Over time, these habits help you regulate emotions more effectively.
Okay, third question is, how often do you reflect on your feelings during the day?
That's a really personal but important question. You could frame it by saying that some people reflect at the end of each day, maybe during journaling or after a specific event. You could encourage them to set a small routine, like a quick reflection after a class or a challenging moment, to build that habit.
Okay, fourth question is, can you easily identify what triggers your stick on energy?
No problem. So you can continue by saying that recognizing your emotional triggers takes practice. It's not always easy, sometimes they sneak up on you, but by being mindful of physical signs like tension or mood shifts and patterns, you can start identifying them more easily and respond in a healthier way.
Okay, fifth question is, how do your emotional influence your daily decisions?
That's a really thoughtful question. You can explain that emotions often guide our choices, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. For example, if you're feeling confident and happy, you might pursue new goals more easily. If you're stressed, it might influence you to avoid certain tasks. So, being aware of this link can help you align daily actions with your deeper goals.
Okay, your sixth question is, how do you control your emotions and difficult situation?
That's a great one to dig into. You can say that it often starts with a pause, taking a deep breath before reacting. Then you can name the emotion, just recognizing it, and remind yourself of your long term values or goals. You might also use grounding techniques like focusing on your senses or reframing the situation. With practice, it becomes easier to stay calm, even in tough moments.
Now,
You're
seventh question.
welcome.
Your seventh question is, what do you do when you feel overwhelmed? Overwhelmed.
That's a really reflective question. You could say that when you feel overwhelmed, it's important to pause and give yourself some space, whether that's stepping away from the situation, practicing deep breathing, or even talking to a trusted friend or mentor. The key is acknowledging the feeling and being kind to yourself in that moment.
Eighth question. Can you remaining claim under receiver give and explain
Of
example?
Sure. So, a way to explain remaining calm under pressure is that it's about staying grounded even when emotions surge. It means you don't react impulsively. Instead, you take a slow, mindful breath, focus on the facts, and respond with intention. This allows you to handle difficult moments with strength and clarity.
Okay. Your
You're
ninth
very welcome.
question. Your ninth question is, how do you unreally Christmas from others?
That's a lovely question. You could explain that it's really about being present and thoughtful, sharing kindness, listening to people, and maybe even surprising them with small gestures like a handwritten note or a simple act of service. Those little things really help spread the joy.
Okay, tenth question is, do you think before reaching emotionally, why or why not?
That's a great closing question. You can say that taking a pause before reacting allows you to avoid saying or doing something you might regret. It gives you a moment to process, align your response with your values, and prevent escalation. So it's often a valuable practice in staying balanced.
11 question is what motivation do you attack your goals?
That's a really personal question. And you can say that for many people, motivation comes from a sense of purpose, knowing why a goal matters to them. It could be a vision of a better future, a personal challenge, or even small daily habits that keep them going. So the key is connecting the goal to something that really matters deep down.
Your 12th question is how do you stay positive during failures? So step
That's a really powerful
step
question.
backs. Step.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, when facing failure, stepping back means giving yourself permission to pause, reflect on what went wrong, and adjust your approach without being harsh on yourself. It helps you regain perspective and come back stronger step by step.
Okay. Your third question is do emotional affect your productivity? How?
That's a really important point to reflect on. You can explain that emotions often influence productivity. They can either energize you or drain your focus. For instance, if you feel motivated, you might be more creative and productive. But if you're overwhelmed or anxious, it can slow you down. So, being aware of your emotional state helps you manage and adjust your productivity more effectively.
Your 14th question is what role does presence play in your success?
That's a really great one. You can say that presence, being fully engaged in the moment, is crucial because it helps you focus, make better decisions, and respond more thoughtfully to challenges. When you're present, you're not distracted by past or future concerns, so you can take purposeful action step by step towards success.
15th question how do you maintain focus when things get difficult?
That's a really practical one. You can say that maintaining focus during tough times often involves breaking tasks down into smaller steps, setting short term goals, and using techniques like deep breathing or taking brief breaks. Also, reminding yourself of your why this goal matters, helps anchor you and keep you moving forward, even when things get tough.
Your 16th question is how well do you understanding other people's emotions?
That's a great one. You can explain that understanding others' emotions often starts with active listening, really paying attention to their words, tone, and body language. You can also ask open ended questions to let them express themselves. The more you practice empathy and check in with yourself, the better you get at reading others.
Okay, your 17th question can you recall a time when you have helped someone emotionally?
That's a really personal question, and it might help to think of a small moment, like a time when a friend was really stressed and you just listened without judgment. Or maybe you offered a simple kind gesture, like a reassuring message. Sharing a small, relatable example like that can really illustrate how much even a little support can seem.
Okay, your 18th question is how do you respond when someone is upset?
That's a really important skill. You can explain that when someone is upset, it's key to stay calm, listen actively without interrupting, and validate their feelings. Something like, I can see this is really hard for you. Once they've been heard, you can offer support or practical help if it's needed. But the biggest thing is just being present and patient.
Do you think empathy can be learning? Why?
Absolutely. You can say that empathy is very much a skill that can be developed. By practicing active listening, asking open questions, and putting yourself in others' shoes, you can strengthen your ability to understand and share others' emotions. It takes practice, but it's definitely learnable.
Okay, your 20 questions. How important is the listening and understanding others?
That's a really crucial point. You can explain that listening and understanding others is the foundation of building trust, resolving conflicts, and fostering strong relationships. When people feel heard, they feel valued, and that leads to deeper connections and better collaboration, whether in personal life or at work.
Okay, your 21 question. How do
Of course.
you build strong relationships with other relationships?
That's a fantastic question. You can explain that building strong relationships is really about trust, consistency, and communication. When you're open, honest, and supportive, and you make time to check in, you create a safe space for connection. Over time, those small, consistent actions really strengthen your bond.
Okay, your 22 question. What makes community effective in your opinion?
That's a great question. You can explain that accountability creates a sense of ownership and responsibility. When people know they're being held to a standard, whether by themselves or others, they're more likely to stay focused, meet their commitments, and improve. So it really helps keep progress on track.
Like 23 question. How do you resolve consensus with friends on colleges?
That's a really important skill. You can say that resolving conflict starts with staying calm and listening to their perspective first. Then express how you feel using I statements so you focus on your own experience. After that, you can brainstorm solutions together, focusing on mutual respect, so both sides feel heard and valued.
Yeah, 24 question.
Of course. Feel free to let me know if you'd like me to explain anything else or if you need help preparing more questions. I'm here to support you.
Do you consider yourself a good team player? Why?
That's a great question to reflect on. You can say that you do consider yourself a good team player because you value collaboration. You actively listen, support others, and try to bring out the best in the group. You also make sure tasks are shared and everyone's voice is heard, which helps keep the team moving forward together.
How do you handle misunderstanding in relationship?
That's a really valuable thing to consider. You can say that when misunderstandings happen, you try to address them quickly by calmly clarifying what you meant, asking open questions to understand their side, and staying patient. The goal is to keep communication clear and honest so you can rebuild trust and avoid the same issues in the future.
Your 28 question. 27. Can emotional interesting improve relationship skills? How?
Absolutely. You can explain that when you develop emotional intelligence, you become more attuned to both your own feelings and those of others. This helps you respond with empathy, communicate more clearly, and navigate conflicts with understanding. So, all of that builds stronger, more trusting relationships.
How does emotional introduction help in the workplace?
That's a great one to highlight. You can say that emotional intelligence in the workplace helps you navigate stress, communicate more effectively, and build collaborative teams. When you're aware of your own emotions and can read others, you respond more thoughtfully, which reduces conflict, boosts morale, and fosters a more positive, productive environment.
28 question. How important is AI in education and learning?
That's a really key point. You can explain that emotional intelligence in education helps create a supportive learning environment. When students and teachers understand and manage emotions, they engage better, build resilience, and foster a growth mindset. So, EI really enhances both personal and academic success.
Okay, 29 question. Do you think AI is more important than IQ? Why or why not?
That's a really thoughtful comparison. You can say that both are important, but they serve different purposes. IQ measures cognitive ability, how you process information, while EQ, or emotional intelligence, shapes how you navigate relationships and manage emotions. In many cases, EQ can be even more crucial because it helps you apply your intelligence in real world situations.
Okay, your last question. How can people improve their emotional intelligence in daily life?
That's a perfect closing question. You can explain that people can improve their emotional intelligence by practicing self awareness, reflecting on their own emotions, actively listening to others, and responding with empathy. They can also practice pausing before reacting, ask themselves why they feel a certain way, and seek feedback from others. Over time, these habits help them grow emotionally.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for my listening.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad I could help. If you ever need more questions or support, just let me know. Good luck with everything.
Bye. Allah Hafiz. See you next.
Allah Hafiz. Take care, Kola. I'm glad I could help, and I'll be here whenever you need me. See you next time.